Back. You know, Valentine's Day is a wonderful day for a fancy dinner and a box of chocolates, but don't forget about the libations too. Hailey Bohlman from the wine education site Cork and Fizz is here with me to share some great wine and bubbles to celebrate with your loved one. And I'm so glad to have my Valentine here because you always have kind of the best ideas in an approachable and not too expensive way. And I think that is key, especially right now.
Absolutely. I am definitely someone who, like, any opportunity to pop some bubbles, I'm there. But I'm not about to pay champagne price every time.
I'm here for that.
I brought a couple kind of budget-friendly bubbles that I think are just as good as champagne, but far more friendly on the wallet.
Thank goodness. So we're talking sparkling wine here. What are we starting with?
So we'll start with the beautiful coupes here. I have a cava in there. So it's a Spanish cava.
Okay.
So essentially, it's made the same way champagne is, but in Spain with different grapes.
All right, that's fine with me. So we call it cava.
Yeah, give it a try. Let me know what you think, and then I'm curious. I'm gonna ask you how much you think it was. All right.
All right. Well, let's cheers it first
Cheers.
because that's bad luck if we don't.
It's very fresh. Get some yellow apple, some almond.
Mama like. Mama like. This is very smooth. Oh my gosh. Okay, I would say 30 bucks.
Yeah, so keeping in mind, a regular champagne, right, is going to cost you about $30 or more. This bottle of cava, very popular. You see it everywhere. It is under $10. It's
How do you pronounce that, by the way? I've been drinking it for years.
I say Segura Viudas.
Segura Viudas.
Yes.
This one time, my sister and I tried to cook Thanksgiving dinner, and we bought like 3 bottles of that, but we drank it all before dinner was done. I don't remember. Anyway,
fair enough. All right.
That is actually, I can attest to that wine. No wonder I liked it.
Yeah, great bottle. It's one of my go-tos. So
okay.
Another option for a budget-friendly sparkling is this Cremant. So have you ever heard the thing where you can only call it champagne if it's from the Champagne region of France, right?
Oui.
Okay, well, it is true, to be fair.
Okay.
Every other wine made like champagne in France is called Cremant. So made in the same way, and then they're made in multiple different regions. So it's going to be called Cremant de, the region that it's from.
Okay.
And so this is Cremant de Jura. So it's from a tiny little region east of Burgundy. And so same thing, give it a try. Let me know what you think.
Cheers. Très bien.
Right? A little creamier than the cava.
A little creamier, a little bit more fruity.
Yes.
A little more bright.
Yes.
I mean, I'm still loving the cava, but this is really good. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, go ahead, give it a guess. What do you think this one is?
It's from France, so there's import tax. $22.
So this one's around $15, $16.
All right.
Yeah, this one's the Cremant de Jura. Again, I got this at Total Wine.
Perfect. I love that.
And so when it comes to sparkling wine, one secret I like to let people in on is that you tend to have it as an aperitif, like before dinner, right?
Before dinner, yeah.
It actually pairs really well with food.
Yes.
Almost all foods, and in particular, salty and fatty.
Salty and fatty.
Basically anything you'd find on a charcuterie platter is going to match really well with your sparkling wine.
That makes perfect sense. And you know what? It's easy to remember because charcuterie platter is usually what you're starting with if you're having a meal.
Right, exactly.
So pop that bubbly. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. When you do put a, let's say, charcuterie board together for, say, champagne, are there any cheeses that you want to avoid? Like, I feel like brie and champagne wouldn't really go well together. I could be wrong.
It kind of depends. It's more, a lot of it's based off what your style is. But for me, I like to go for the salty kinds, right?
Yeah.
So I've got some manchego here. The other nice thing too is like cava, that's from Spain. Manchego is a Spanish cheese, exactly. Going kind of matching the regions together.
I love that. All right, let's move on to some of these beautiful red wines you have here.
Yes, absolutely. We got to have some red as well. So thinking about, your Valentine's dinner, nice little romantic, a great wine to start with is Burgundy. Red Burgundy is from the Burgundy region of France, as you might guess, and it's 100% Pinot Noir.
Okay.
So this is going to be wine number 1 on there for you if you want to give it a try. This is going to be a little higher in acid, lower tannins, and so it's going to be really food friendly.
Oh, that smells delicious. You know, this is my favorite red.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And there's going to be a lot of red fruit, a little bit of earthiness as well. Add some complexity in there.
This one is so smooth. I've actually had this wine before, probably, because I usually try to stick to, budget-friendly wines.
Yes.
But this is so smooth, and I like it because most Pinots can be, they're not, this one's fruity, but without being too fruit forward.
Yes, yeah, it has a nice balance. And again, for under, I think this one was right around $10. Like, having something that has that fruity and earthiness at a good price point is hard to do, but Louis Jadot, it's one of my go-tos.
All right, I love it. Wine number 2.
Okay, this is for our, people who love a bolder style wine, right? So if you're a Cabernet Sauvignon drinker,
yes,
you'll like this. This is called Nero di Avola. This comes from an island in southern Italy, and it's going to be a little bit stronger, darker fruit flavors, and then some spiciness, a little chili pepper, a little sweet tobacco in there to kind of add some complexity.
The aroma is, oh, it's very ancient. It smells like.
I like that. Yeah. It's something a little different than what you think of with like, those fruit forward styles. This has a little bit of that spiciness. It's also like your go-to then for like very intense food. So like steak.
Big old steak.
Burger, exactly.
I can see that. This is it's a little bit more of a bold wine than I would pick, but I have very dear friends who love Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yes, this is for
so now I
them.
know what to get them.
Exactly.
Say thanks, Hailey. Emily and Joseph are delighted. All right, wine number 3 looks very, very light. What is happening here?
Okay, so one of my favorite parts of Valentine's Day is the dessert, is the sweets, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not? So the problem is that when you're pairing wine with sweets, typically what you want to do is you want your wine sweeter or as sweet or sweeter than your food.
As sweet or sweeter than the
Yes,
food?
so if your food is sweet, you need a sweet wine. So that is what wine number 3 is.
All right. It seems counterintuitive. You think the wine would balance the sweetness, but I trust you.
Well, and this is what I want to do. If we have the time, you want to do a little experiment with me?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Okay, so take a sip of wine and then pick a little dessert and have a small little bite, and then go back to the wine. And we're going to do this with this, and then I want to try it with the Nero di Avola.
All right. Sweet, very sweet.
Right, okay, and then go back to the wine. The idea is that you should still get some fruitiness from the wine. It shouldn't all disappear.
It worked!
Yes, okay, now I want you to try
it. It's more berry than it was. Okay,
right?
okay, all right.
Okay, now the reason why you don't do it, so go ahead and set down the wine number 3.
Okay.
Wine number 2, now go back to our Nero di Avola. This is not sweet, right? So this is why this doesn't work. So try a bite of your food and then go back to this is what's called a dry wine, so there's no sugar in it. And what happens is it kind of all the fruit disappears and it's very bitter.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, right? So that's the reason you want it needs to balance the sweetness in there.
The things you teach me. I love it. You have so much information. I'm so grateful that you have Cork and Fizz and that you are educating people every day. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day. Go check out Cork and Fizz. It'll really change your whole world when it comes to wine. All right.